On the bench today is a Pioneer SX424. This is not mine, but my first vintage receiver, at least my first vintage Pioneer, was a 424. I think the first one that I actually repaired was a 535. So that's kind of cool to see one of these come across the bench. I did have to replace one of the knobs. It came with a knob from something else, so picked up another one off of eBay, like 25 bucks. What's nice about this one is that new lamps have already been installed. I've already powered it up on the dim bulb tester. No issues. There's no DC. I'm not sure if this is cap coupled or not, but there was no DC on the speaker terminals. Stereo light works. I haven't done a sound check yet. We're going to do that right now. But I'm hoping that this is just a kind of a basic service, you know, clean the pots, do any adjustment that needs to be done, if you know, whatever adjustment's possible on it, and kind of get it out the door. So this was a part of a large kind of stash that we picked up from a customer, and it was like 5 receivers and a cassette deck and some other things. Oh, and I wanted to mention, so if I ever show a project, like a project preview, and there's no follow-up video for something that you see in one of those, most likely when I plugged it in and tested it, it was uneventful, and sometimes just cleaning pots is kind of a boring video. So, you know, I would say 90% of the things that I evaluate require some sort of intervention on my part. So occasionally that 10%, I don't do anything with those in terms of releasing a video on it. So, connected to my test speakers.
A Bay Island calendar. Yes, a calendar.
Sounds like I'm getting sound in only one channel, but this has, yeah, it's got
mild,
really dirty pots, and the other thing about this, let me turn this off, is it uses those, yep, and there's the problem. It uses these goofy ass clips, and I apologize for that, but it uses these goofy clips. And, you know, my test speakers, a majority of what I evaluate are, you know, terminals that are spring-loaded. You just plug the speaker wires in. So I don't put little spade connectors on these. So what happened was the speaker wire just became disengaged, which is kind of dangerous. I mean, but you know, if I did it the right way, I guess I could eliminate that risk. So anyway, let's try this again. See if we get sound out of both channels. Yep, good sound. Dirty volume control. I'm going to assume that all of these are. I'm not sure that. Yeah. Stereo mono seems to be dirty. Yeah, so that needs to be cleaned. Yeah, so have to clean that up.
A new church with 25-person seating.
So it looks like this is just going to be a kind of a straightforward service. Again, I typically don't release a video when I just do a basic service, but you know what the heck, this is a cool receiver. So I'll pop it open, move the camera, kind of look at the insides from the top, and do a quick clean and get this out to the shop. Well, this is very clean on the inside. I mean, it's really clean. So that is really cool. Looks like I can possibly get to the pots without disassembling anything. I'm going to try anyway. There is evidence of one repair. Right here. Right, somebody replaced the stereo beacon. Looks like the pointer lamp is probably original. I don't know. LEDs are good. I can get to the switches. No other evidence of any work, at least from what I can see in this very limited view of this board here. FM looks pretty clean. Man, it's nice. And this thing sounds good. I mean, I don't know what this is rated for in terms of watts per channel, but puts out a really nice mellow sound. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get into spraying the pots, making sure I can get to them. I may have to get creative with how I get to those. Again, I don't want to have to disassemble this if I don't need to. So I think my approach is going to be I can get to the switches from here. I think I can get to the pots from here. I may have to spray and then turn it upside down and work the controls. All right, but I can get to those three, and yeah, it should be all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up, and I'll circle back around and we'll do another function check, make sure I got rid of the scratchiness. I'm gonna clean up a little bit of this backside exterior on it and get it to the shop. So let me clean these controls, and I'll be back in a few. Was able to get to the controls. Again, I had to spray and then flip it upside down and kind of get the oxide in there. Checked out the service manual. This is a mighty 12 watts per channel. It sounds really good. I mean, really good. This was I don't know. In my opinion, I think the 3 Series Pioneers and the 2 Series Pioneers are kind of my favorites in terms of how they sound to me. They sound much better than like the 50 Series. But go figure, I'm listening to a 1050 in my living room. I'd love to find a 1010. I've recapped a 939 that really sounded fantastic, so I might be on the lookout for one of those and move the 1050 on to somebody else. And I rebuilt the 1050 too. Like any of the stuff I have is stuff that I've rebuilt. Have lots of love in those projects. So this was nice because it was not a lot to do. I may just give this a real quick clean. Just clean the face off a little bit. There's some smudges. I don't smell any nicotine, which is nice for a change. But this is well cared for. Very nice unit. So no, this was a short one, and this was one of those just kind of a basic run-through video on this. I think, did I mention I pulled down the service manual and there are no additional adjustments, no additional alignments, other than AM, FM, and then checking the SCA filter. And no, there's no amp alignment that I could find in the service manual. So I'm gonna call this one done. I'm just gonna finish cleaning it up and then take it to the shop. So as always, if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.